The Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra is one of the celebrated Vedic mantras that is addressed to Triambaka, the three-eyed one, a form of Lord Shiva. As a result, it is also called the Triambaka Mantra. The Devata or deity of the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra is Rudra, who represents the fierce and destructive aspect of Lord Shiva. That is why it is also called the Rudra Mantra. There's a popular notion that Lord Shiva gave this mantra to sage Markandeya when he saved his life from Yama and wrongly attributed to him. But the truth is that this mantra first appears in the 7th mandala of the Rig Veda. According to the Rig Veda Anukramani, which is the index of Rig Veda mantras, the mantra drashtas of the Rigs from the 7th mandala is sage Vashishta. Since the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra finds its place in the 7th mandala, it is right to attribute the mantra to sage Vashishta. This mantra is also found in the Taittiriya Samhita and Vadaseniya Samhita of Krishna and Shukla Yajurveda, and it's also found in the 14th Khanda of Atharva Veda. The Rudra Samhita of the Shiva Purana explains the potency of the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra through a story. It begins with a king named Kshupa who was friend with a sage named Dadichi. A dispute took place in the context of their penance. With Lord Vishnu's grace, King Kshupa managed to break Dadichi's limb and defeated him. Injured and defeated, Dadichi prayed to his grandfather Shukracharya for help. Shukracharya came to Dadichi's aid and healed his injuries. Furthermore, he initiated Dadichi with the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra along with a detailed instruction on the method of meditation encompassing nyasa and other essential ritualistic practices associated with the chanting the mantra. Empowered by the mantra and guided by his grandfather's wisdom, Dadichi went to forest to meditate on Lord Shiva. Moved by Dadichi's unwavering devotion, Lord Shiva manifested before him. The sage requested for unbreakable bones as hard as a diamond, indicating the indestructibility. Lord Shiva granted the boon to Dadichi. Armed with this boon, the sage returned to the king and defeated him. The king, unable to accept his defeat, asked Lord Vishnu for help. But even Lord Vishnu couldn't harm Dadichi because of the protection from the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra. In reality, there is nothing that Lord Vishnu cannot overcome. But he chose to showcase his respect to Lord Shiva and demonstrated the potency of the mantra through this action. Later, sage Dadichi sacrificed his life so that this special bones could be used to create the Vajrayudha for Indra to kill Vritrasura. There is also another story of a sage named Shweta in the Linga Purana where Lord Shiva saved the sage's life by fighting with Yama when he chanted the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra at his last moment. The Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra is composed in the Anushtup Chandas, consists of 2 lines. The first line extols the Lord, highlighting his attributes such as the 3 eyes and a fragrant body. And he is also referred to as the nourisher of all living beings and multiplier of good things. The second line asks the Lord for protection from death and deliverance from worldly ties.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्.
Various commentaries are written to explain the profound meaning and inner significance of the Mrityunjaya Mantra as part of Rig Veda and Yajurveda Samhita. However, I would like to present the meaning of this mantra as given in the Shiva Purana, which offers a different perspective and sheds light on its deeper significance. Lord Shiva embodies the essence and fragrance of the 3 tattvas, the 3 sacred fires, and everything that is trichotomized, including the 3 worlds, the 3 arms, and the Trinity. He serves as a nourisher of all living beings everywhere. He exists within the 3 gunas in the creation, the sense organs, and among the devas and ganas. Just as fragrance is inherent in a flower, Shiva represents this essence. As a lord of the devas, he is referred to as nourisher because it is from him, the Supreme Purusha, that the Prakriti and various tattvas from Mahat to different Indriyas as well as Vishnu, Brahma, the sages, Indras and the Devas derive their sustenance. To attain liberation from the noose of Yama, worship that immortal deity Shiva through sacred rites,
penance, meditation, and other means. The Lord is both the cause of bondage and salvation.
The Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra is a Vedic mantra, which means it needs to be learned under proper guidance. To get the full benefit of the mantra, it needs to be chanted using the correct syllables in the correct matra and the correct swaras or the intonation as per the Vedic rules. The mantra should not be sung like a song or a bhajan or like a shloka. Out of ignorance, some people think that the thought and the visualization of the meaning of the mantra are more important and do not pay attention to the correct pronunciation and the intonations. If mere thought and visualization are sufficient to reap the complete benefit, then there is no need to chant the mantra itself. Just a contemplation of the deity should be sufficient, isn't it? But the truth is that the words in the mantra get their powers only due to the right swaras and the ucharana, which is the pronunciation. So learn this mantra under proper guidance for correct pronunciation, matra, swara, to reap the complete benefit. I have attached an audio link of the chanting of the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra for your reference. Please do listen to it and energize yourself. The Rudra Samhita of Shiva Purana mentions a unique way to worship Lord Shiva using the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra, and it's called as Dhara Puja. The word Dhara in Sanskrit means stream. As part of Dhara Puja, a brass or a copper pot is hung above a linga with a small hole in its bottom pointing downwards, and water flows like a stream on the linga. As part of this puja, various substitute materials are mentioned instead of water, which grants benefits ranging from material wealth to spiritual liberation. If Dhara Puja is performed with ghee while the Mrityunjaya Mantra is repeated continuously 1,000 times, the family will flourish. Similarly, when the mantra is chanted 10,000 times with milk, it is said to enhance the intellect. In this way, offering different materials in the Dhara Puja along with continuous chanting of this mantra grants various benefit to the devotee. The Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra is a great mantra for conquering death, for it protects against all threats and at the time of death eases the process of release. It is also chanted while smearing vibhuti or bhasma over various parts of the body. This mantra is recited during food preparation and worship to seek health, wealth and protection. Additionally, it serves as a vital chant that helps individuals conquer death and attain freedom from life's afflictions. In the context of Jyotishya, it is also recited during eclipses for protection against the evil effects of the eclipse. There are two vital mantras from our Vedas, which are Gayatri Mantra and the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra is meant for purification and spiritual guidance, while the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra is meant for healing and rejuvenation. While a common interpretation emphasizes protection from death, the Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra transcends this singular purpose and highlights the essence of life and liberation. The mantra, when recited with proper pronunciation, is believed to unlock this power. By chanting it with devotion, one can invite protection, seek rejuvenation, and even conquer the fear of death itself, thus helping us to cross the ocean of samsara. If you like my videos, stay subscribed and do watch other videos. Until then, stay together, learn together.